What's up, guys? I'm Caden with Crypto Now or Never, and welcome back to another market update. If you enjoy this style of content, please do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. As always, none of this is financial advice. Let's get into it.
I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. Know what I want.
Okay, so as you guys can see, the market is still very indecisive right now. Bitcoin's currently trading at 102,200 and Ethereum's 3,400. However, there is actually some very interesting stuff that I want to show you a little bit later with the technical analysis side of things. But the first thing that I want to point out to you guys is actually the Crypto Fear and Greed Index. We are all the way down at 15 right now, which is extreme fear. Again, I cannot stress how crazy this is right now when Bitcoin is quite literally trading above 102,000. And yet the sentiment around the crypto market is extreme fear. That right there should tell you everything you need to know. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and get straight into technical analysis. So if you guys have been following my content, I've been showing you guys the weekly time frame a lot, and I'm actually going to show you guys the 2-week in just a second. But if you look at the weekly time frame and you look at the stochastics, we are extremely oversold. At the moment, we also have a bullish divergence. Price action is slightly swinging up, whereas the RSI is swinging down into a lower low. So we have bullish divergence, oversold stochastics, and we're still retesting the 50 weekly moving average. At the moment, we are fighting really hard to reclaim this level. I've been telling you guys for a long time, as long as we can stay above the 50 weekly, we are still bullish. If we do drop beneath it, don't be shocked if we drop down to the next support. But if you just look at every single time historically that Bitcoin has been extremely oversold in the stochastics, we've usually almost always had a very strong bounce. Extremely oversold right here, very nice bounce. Extremely oversold right here, very nice bounce. Both of those times took us to higher highs. Same thing right here, extremely oversold, very nice bounce right into higher highs. Even the depths of the bear market, we almost always still get a nice bounce. Extremely oversold right here, and this was November of 2022. The depths of the bear market, we end up breaking out hard. So just understand, usually the stochastics are a very strong indicator. Now, the reason I want to show you guys the 2-week is because we officially have a very strong bullish divergence. You can see on this chart that price action is swinging up into a higher low and the RSI is swinging down into a lower low. And that's even stronger than the 1-week bullish divergence. And you pair that with the fact that we have oversold stochastics on the 2-week. I'm telling you right now, I know a lot of people think that we're heading into a bear market. I understand. And again, the sentiment says extreme fear. But that's why I think it's so important to understand everything from a technical analysis standpoint. The larger timeframes for Bitcoin and Ethereum still look very good. Now, I'm not telling you that we can't break down from here and we won't fall all the way down to the 50. However, the fact that we have bullish divergence is a good sign. Oftentimes that can signal a bottom. And very similar to the 1-week, if you look at when the stochastics have been extremely oversold, we almost always get a strong bounce. Extremely oversold right here, strong bounce. Extremely oversold, strong bounce. And you can go back through Bitcoin's history and test it yourself. But I think Bitcoin right now on the larger time frames look very good. And if you look at Ethereum, we're in a very similar situation. Ethereum on the weekly time frame is also extremely oversold right now. And Ethereum had a textbook retest off of the 50 weekly and then it bounced from there. We'll see where this actually closes, but again, technical analysis looks very good. Now, the other thing I want to show you guys is the liquidity heat map right now. So you guys can see that there's actually a lot more liquidity up here around this 112,000 range. Now, there has been some liquidity that's built up beneath us, so we absolutely could drop lower first. But do not be shocked if price action just rips up and reverses from here and comes up and grabs this liquidity. And again, that could rip up and take us all the way up here to around 112,000. You can see that it's all set just above resistance. But if we come back over here to the market in general, you can just see that most of the market is completely bleeding. Obviously, the blue chips are holding up very well, but if you look at like the meme coin as an example, a lot of these projects have dropped significantly. I know if you look at something like PEPE right now, it says it's up 7.5% in the last week. However, its market cap is only 2.4 billion. For the longest time, PEPE was trading at a bottom of around 3 billion, but it's dropped so much that it lost support. And if you click on something like PEPE, you can see that it's down 79% from its all-time high. Okay, you get out of this, and I like to show Nero because Nero was one of the hottest projects in 2024. If you click on Nero, you can see that Nero is actually down 94.8% from its all-time high. The reason something like this is important is because a lot of people are panicking with their conviction plays, but you have to understand the entire market, especially from a meme coin standpoint, is bleeding. I know Dogecoin's a little bit different because of the supply dilution. However, Dogecoin is still down 76% from its all-time high. It never even made new all-time highs. It hasn't reached an all-time high for 5 years. But what you also have to understand about the market is that behind the scenes, market conditions are continuing to improve. We know that quantitative tightening is coming to an end on December 1st. There are also a lot of rumors about quantitative easing potentially starting. And again, I want to go back to the fact that a lot of people think we're heading into a bear market. I can't stress this enough. When market sentiment is extreme fear, it's often pretty rare to drop that much lower. So everything can reverse in a hurry, and we've also seen consecutive rate cuts. There are a lot of things happening behind the scenes. I think all of you guys who are just convinced that we have to go into a bear market because it's technically the end of the 4-year cycle, I think you should think about everything. Personally, I would find it very difficult to believe that we head into a bear market if quantitative easing starts. We have not seen quantitative easing since the last bull run. But honestly, that's about it for the update today. Just understand where we're at. Extreme fear is crazy right now. We are all the way down at 15. But if you guys are interested in market updates like this and just getting into projects super early in general, then I always recommend you take a look at my Discord as well. I always show you guys the all-time gainer list, but we've hit some huge multipliers in here. And if market conditions get better and better, we're just going to hit more and more multipliers. But if this is the kind of community that you'd like to be a part of, you can find the link right here on my YouTube homepage. And I'd love to have you guys in here with us. But that's about all. Let me know down in the comments how you guys are feeling about the market. If you enjoyed this content, please do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great rest of your day.